Today, we're making my ultimate carrot soup by using just one ingredient, the carrot. And to achieve a carrot soup with complex flavors, we're going to play with two factors, moisture and temperature. So on one end of the spectrum, you have maximum moisture and no increase in temperature, carrot juice. On the other end of the spectrum, you have dehydrated carrots. And we'll try to make everything in between, merging them together in harmony and creating the ultimate carrot soup. Let's do it. So, first, and what's going to take the longest, the dehydrated carrots. It's very simple and you can do it whichever way you prefer. I normally just do the lowest setting in the oven and let them dry overnight. And to speed up the process, we're going to enlist a mandolin to slice them thin so they dry much faster. First, we peel the carrots. Now, we adjust this to a relatively thin setting. So relatively thin. And once we get to the core, we stop. Because today we're solving for maximum flavor, not maximum nutrition. And the core of the carrot has a hint of unwarranted bitterness, which is why most carrot juice are diluted with apple juice or some form of acidity. This will bring none of the carroty goodness to the soup, but dilute our flavors. So we turn and we slice the other side. And again, once you've reached the core, we rotate. Perfect. Now, with these beautiful ribbons, I'm gonna put them on a non-stick wire rack, and once they dry, they'll curl up quite beautifully. It looks like I'm crowding it, but they're gonna shrink significantly. Just to make sure you mother them a tiny bit in the beginning so they don't stick together. And now, this goes into the oven, lowest possible setting, until they're completely dry. All right, after drying overnight in the oven, we have these beauties. Fully dehydrated, and the cell structures have been changed permanently, giving you the concentrated sweetness, the concentrated umami, savoriness. These can easily last 6 months in a jar, making them wonderful flavor bombs for your future carrot soups. So make them in batches. Now, to use them, we first need to rehydrate them. A, to soften them enough for culinary use, and B, we get a wonderful dashi out of it. A liquid that's once again full of umami, full of savoriness that we'll use for the rest of the soup. So, very simple. We just cover this with water. This is a technique that is very common in Japanese cooking. If you've ever had miso soup at a restaurant, that's probably made from a dashi. So, we bring this to a bare simmer and we let the carrots steep until they're softened. While that's happening, we'll move on to the next item on the spectrum of dehydration. In this case, roasting the carrots. So the reason why we roast the carrots is to bring them to the temperature where they achieve the Maillard reaction, which is between 140 degrees Celsius to 165 degrees Celsius. This is when the amino acids react with the sugar, giving browned food a distinct flavor, similar to caramelized onions or caramelized steak. So, same playbook as before, we peel the carrots. You can also achieve this stage using a pressure cooker, which is how the Modernist Cuisine Cookbook made the legendary carrot soup. Now, the same playbook applies. So, we quarter them, and we once again remove the core to guarantee the concentration of flavors and prevent the slightest possibility of bitterness. I mean, these carrots are of such good quality. Even the core has such deep colors. We grab our roasting tray to form one layer to help them roast evenly. We add olive oil. Fat and carrot is a marriage made in heaven, not just from a culinary point of view, but also from a nutrition point of view. So we mix, we salt, A, to season, B, to help the carrots release their moisture. Now, they go in to a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius. Now, while that's roasting, we move on to the next item on the spectrum, the sweating. Here we have some diced carrots, and you know the drill by now, peeled, cored, and we're gonna cook them slowly without color to evaporate the water content, to concentrate the sweetness and the carrot flavors without the Maillard reaction, to build another layer of flavors. So, medium heat, and once again, olive oil. Diced carrots in. And you don't want to hear a sizzle. You want to gently evaporate their water content. To help them release their moisture, we once again salt, also to season the carrots. Now the steam you're seeing, that's the water content evaporating, and it smells like carrot juice. Now while that's happening, we also dice our beautiful, beautiful dehydrated and now rehydrated carrot ribbons. Squeeze out the excess liquid. And we add them to cook with the diced carrots to emulsify the flavors. Once the steam stops coming out, you know you're there. Most of the water content has evaporated and you've concentrated the flavors. So now we introduce moisture for the first time by adding the carrot dashi that we made with the dehydrated carrot. And we add just enough to cover everything to prevent unnecessary dilution. And we bring this back to a boil and let this simmer at gentle heat for about 20 minutes for the carrots to fully soften to the extent that it's blender ready and for their flavors to fully emulsify. While that's happening, we move on to the last item on the spectrum. No evaporation and no heat. We make some carrot juice. Of course, this is the easiest bit. Peel, cool. This is the strongest raw flavor, of course, and it can be overpowering. So I like to always add this at the very end so we could adjust. And I know I didn't say that in the beginning, and I should have. With any recipe that's carrot related, the most important thing is to buy good carrots. There's no substitute for that. So they go in, we pulse a tiny bit, and we once again introduce our carrot dashi. Just enough for this to turn into a smooth juice. And that's it. And we have our carrot juice. Now, after 20 minutes, our pot is well emulsified. So stove off. Check the doneness, perfect. Our roasted carrots, beautifully caramelized. All we need to do is we trim off the burnt bits on the ends so that it wouldn't darken the soup unnecessarily. Of course, the Maillard reaction occurs on the surface. The inside is still, whenever something is still moist, it's impossible for them to go above boiling point on the inside. Now, everything is blender ready. I mean, if you're not on camera, pour it away from you. Now, perfect. Now we grab a sieve and we pass everything through. Now we taste and we introduce a small dash of carrot juice just to bring that bit of brightness. But again, this thing is overpowering, so taste, 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 taste. Brilliant. Look at this texture. Incredible. How do I know the flavors are concentrated? Well, because we use 7 carrots and we probably have 1 serving. And now we can plate. And with this soup, every little drop counts. And to finish this beauty, we have the least intervened carrot of them all. Raw and shaved. A small drizzle, extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. Different levels of evaporation, different temperatures, to give us different forms of carrots, to build flavors, to build complexity, to truly bring out the best of this wonderful ingredient. This is my ultimate carrot soup. I really, really hope you enjoy. Where's my wine?